Yo, what's going on, man? Today is February the 1st. New month, new money. Let's get into it, man. This is the ChrisBeCappinn Show, live on Twitter, live on YouTube as well. Excuse me. Excuse me. A little too excited. If you guys could hit the like button for me, subscribe to the show, subscribe to the podcast, check out the podcast, leave me a review as well for the morning podcast that I do. We're gonna jump into this, man. For the new people, this is an NBA betting show. We collectively come together every Monday, every weekday, Monday through Friday, 5:15 Eastern time, to try to cash some tickets in the NBA betting market for that day. Myself and other guests who want to share their plays all have the platform to come on. I am your host, Chris. Let's get into the slate for today, man. As we always do, before we get into the slate, though, I do like to take a trip down memory lane. Transparency is extremely important. Hold on, we getting some news. Hold on here. I saw something about Embiid. Oh, he a true game time decision. Okay, that helps us none. We knew that all day. Okay, so as far as official plays yesterday, I always tweet them out as well. 3-2 day yesterday. Man, it was a good 3-2 day, but it was a frustrating 3-2 day because we were rebound away from a 4-1 day. Anthony Davis goes the whole fourth quarter and all of overtime, acting like he just doesn't want to get a rebound. Almost punched a hole in my TV. I didn't punch my TV though. I'm not that type of person. But I was extremely frustrated with AD not getting that rebound and us being able to go 4-1 yesterday. If you did take my plays, but yeah, so 4-1 day overall. I don't even really want to talk about. I'm sorry, 3-2 day overall. Don't really want to talk about the wins or the losses. Really, just kind of want to move forward to today. It's a lot of games on today. I don't have a lot of looks. I see people in the YouTube comment section. Shout out to Euphoria. He said the slate is fire. I don't think so. I don't think that this is a great slate at all. I looked around, search high and low. Don't feel like I have a lot of plays at all for tonight. But we're gonna get into to the ones that I do have, and hopefully we can make some money, man. I'm interested in hearing what you guys, got as well. So hit the like button for me. Like I said, if you joined, if you are into the space, and got yourself settled, hit the like button for me if you guys can on the tweet on the YouTube channel, and let's jump into the slate for today. We got a lot of games, but I don't have a lot of plays, so maybe somebody could talk me on to something. I'm fine with not having too many plays. Sometimes I find myself in a situation where you're the host of a show, you want to be able to, give out looks and solid plays that you like. And a lot of the times I do a lot of research on these plays, and I end up, coming up with 5, 6, 7, 8 plays sometimes. And I'll not give them out, and they'll be leans and they'll cash. Like anybody, shout out to everybody who took Jalen Brunson yesterday. I came up here and talked about him for 5 minutes, left him, on the bet slip, didn't take him, and he absolutely crushed that 23.5 number that he was setting at first. And then he also crushed the 25 number that he moved up to when Patrick Beverley got rolled out. And I think he finished with like 37 points last night. So sometimes it's the leans that cash, sometimes it's the officials, but I'm always going to give you guys the information that I have based on the research that I've done. So that's what I have for you guys. And let's get into the actual slate let's get into the slate for today. So first game up I want to talk about is so I got a banner up here for the Wizards and the Pistons. For anybody who doesn't know, the Wizards and Pistons game did get postponed because of the weather in Texas. They're experiencing a snowstorm, and the Pistons have not left Dallas yet. So they played them 2 days ago, haven't had a chance to leave because of the weather. And that game against that home game for them against the Washington Wizards will not take place tonight. So that's the latest update for people who weren't aware of what was going on with that game and why it's been pulled. And I did have a play in that game, something I want to talk about. But let's move through. Let's move through most of the game. So let's go to the Sixers in the Magic game. Still an extremely difficult game to cap without knowing the status. I feel like sooner or later these teams are going to start sitting. Some of these guys, Embiid tonight, Wendell Carter Jr., both also. I think both of these guys are still listed as questionable. We did just get the news that Embiid is a true game time decision. With the foot injury, I expect him to play, but honestly I'm not 100% sure. I think that the Philadelphia 76ers have the San Antonio Spurs on deck, so not a real look ahead spot at all. I would expect him to play, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure. You do need him in, if you want to take the revenge angle for the Philadelphia 76ers in this spot. The Magic are long. They have a lot of guys that can defend. If you had a chance to watch that Magic and 76ers game the other day, I know. I mean, we can make the excuses for the 76ers losing that game because I know a lot of people were on the Magic plus the points just based on the situation that the 76ers celebrating with the Philadelphia Eagles and them making it to the Super Bowl, winning the NFC Championship game the other day. However, it wasn't a lot of people that was on the money line for the Magic, right? And this Magic team plays well. They it wouldn't surprise me if they came out here and played this 76ers team really, really tough again. I don't think that there's a way for me anyway that I could lay 9.5 points with the Magic in their current form. With the 76ers. The Magic have been balling recently. So also I think there's some validity to this. This Magic team did beat they beat the Boston Celtics one game, had a day off similar to the same situation, and then beat that team again as well. So I'm not saying that they win. I know that the 76ers are a much better team, but if the Magic come out here and they can play that consistent, they can play as consistent as they did on the defensive end in the fourth quarter when they got late. I think the 76ers scored something like 19 points. We were on the over in that game if you roll with me on the Bet US play, and they didn't get to that team total. I'm sorry, the full game didn't go over specifically because the 76ers only scored 19 points in the fourth quarter. So prop wise, I think James Harden triple-double is absolutely in play if Embiid doesn't play in this one. And then I'd also be looking at some Tobias Harris props as well. If Embiid plays, I'm probably not going to be on this game. I just don't like teams playing on this, playing those back-to-back type games. But my lean in this one would be the Magic plus the 9.5. I think that they could, kind of keep this one close. And also, while I'm doing that, let me just make sure. Let me get my iScreen pulled up just to make sure I'm giving you guys the most accurate numbers that I'm seeing on the board right now. So it looks like the spread has ballooned to 10, and the total has kind of stayed the same. It's about 230.5. I do lean towards the over. I think both teams can continue to score the ball. And Orlando offense just is a lot better when they have Markelle Fultz in the game. So I would lean over, and I would lean towards Orlando to be able to cover the spread in this one as well. Even if Philly wins the game, I don't think it'll be by double digits. So those are my thoughts on that game. No official play in that game at all. Next game up is the let's talk about this Blazers and the Grizzlies game. Let me slow down a little bit. So Blazers, first road game for them after a 6-game home trip. They play in DC on Friday. This is a revenge game for them as well. Memphis beat this team they beat them 111-106 in Portland earlier this season. For the Grizzlies, this is their second game back home and their final game back home as well. They're on the front end of a back-to-back. They do travel to Cleveland tomorrow to play the Cavaliers. They had lost 5 games in a row on that road trip before they returned home and had to come from behind in double digits against the Pacers in that game on I think it was on Sunday. Bane is listed as questionable. I feel like if you want to take the Grizzlies, you do have to wait until Bane gets ruled in. Because this Memphis Grizzlies team has been struggling recently with the injuries. Also, Danny Green is slated to potentially make his season debut tonight. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to happen, but that's what I saw. Steven Adams also remains out. So for the people who are, kind of watching the injury report, really tough, difficult game for me to kind of cap as far as spread wise. The numbers kind of stayed at 5.5 all day. The total has shot up. I saw it open up at 229 last night. On Wager Talk live screen, it says that it opened up at 234.5, but it is up to 239 right now. So the books are anticipating points, which makes sense because Portland hasn't been playing much defense at all lately. Even though they are a better defensive team on the road, the Memphis Grizzlies are also a better defensive team at home. I do think the subtraction of Steven Adams, who's going to be out for a while due to injury, is pretty substantial, in this point spread and how you kind of dictate this game. I'm not laying 5.5 points with the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm also not taking Portland because they've been extremely inconsistent. Interested to see how this game goes. One thing I do want to look at in this game is, and one thing I did play is I pivoted to a prop and I played Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr., as long as he can stay out of foul trouble, shout out to my guy Vaughn. Vaughn did tell me, he DM'd me and said, "Yo, Chris, I heard you talking about him earlier on the show that I did." He said, "I heard you talking about him earlier." He said, Jaren Jackson Jr. has been, he's averaging 4.87 fouls per game over the last 8 games versus the Portland Trailblazers. What I told Vaughn is he better stay out of foul trouble tonight because I already put the bet in. I think he can stay out of foul trouble tonight. I like Jaren Jackson Jr. to be able to stay out of foul trouble. I think he understands that without Steven Adams, they need his presence. And I think it's twofold, right? Jared Jackson Jr. playing against the Blazers tonight, who this team, it's a buy-on for Jared Jackson Jr., which I think his numbers could increase just a tad bit without Steven Adams and him sliding into that 5 position. But I think it's also just fate of the Blazers defense tonight. The Blazers allow the most points to centers on the season and over the last 7 games. It's actually increased over the last 7 games. We've hit on taking opposing big men against the Portland Trail Blazers recently. I remember last week, or I don't know if it was the beginning of last week or the week before, we hit on Jakob Poeltl to go over his points. And I think it was like 11.5 or 12.5, and he finished with like 14. And Thomas Bryant just had that massive game for the Lakers, where the Lakers came back in the second half, and he absolutely went bananas in that game. So they just don't do well, defending that center position. I think it's a primetime matchup for Jared Jackson Jr. Blazers also allowed the most rebounds to centers as well. Over the last 7 games, not for the season, but over the last 7 games as well. So Jared Jackson Jr. is someone who does play a lot better at home versus road. If you go look at his splits, you'll see that he has, he'll have an increase in usage, like I talked about, without Steven Adams being a part of that rotation due to the injury. And, in 3 home games this season, without Steven Adams, Jared Jackson Jr. has 23, 27, and 36 points plus rebounds. He cleared it in the last game against the Indiana Pacers. And what I think is impressive is that he shot 47% or better in all 3 of those games at home. But you look at his road PR, he only had points plus rebounds. He only had 21, 23, and 24 points plus rebounds. All games that he shot under 40% in. So 3 road games, he shoots under 40%. 3 home games, he shoots better than 47% in each one of them. I like Jared Jackson Jr. He's actually my favorite prop of the day. Over his 24.5 points plus rebounds is what I got it at. I think it was a -120 when I locked that in earlier. So that's my favorite play for this game. Also trying to figure out a way to play Ja. I probably won't get there just because they are in the first leg of a back-to-back. And I'm interested to see how this game goes. I think that Memphis probably takes this game, a little more seriously, just because the Blazers are a conference opponent versus the Cleveland Cavaliers not being a conference opponent tomorrow. So not 100% sure how that goes. Probably won't get there on Ja. I know he has been like really picking up the slack a lot. I do think it's important to make sure that if you are going to play him, you probably want to play Ja a little bit more as his usage increase as he's needed. So if Desmond Bane isn't playing in this game, it's probably a reason to kind of jump on Ja in. But if Bane is in, I'll probably just stay off Ja. So his rebound plus assist is what I was looking at, but I'm not gonna play it. Especially without the news about Desmond Bane. I think he is coming off back-to-back triple-double games though. So the total in this one's gone up from 334 to 234 to 239.5, indicative of the books thinking that there are going to be more points being scored in this game. But like I said, not anything that I'm gonna play. Jared Jackson Jr. is my official play in this game over his 24.5 points plus rebounds in this one. So moving along to the next game I want to talk about is the Kings and the Spurs. So this game is a pretty interesting game from the standpoint of you do get a Kings team that's coming in here. They're pretty hot right now. Sacramento is 7-3 straight up, 6-3-1 against the spread in their last 10. They're 14-8 ATS on the road as well. And if you look at them as a favorite on the road, they're actually a little bit better. I'm going to talk about that a tad bit later on in the show when I give out an official play in this game. But this is the 3rd game of a 3-game road trip for the Kings. Clean injury report for them as well. Nobody on the injury list. They are 0-3 against the spread on their 3rd game of a 3-game, on their 3rd game of any road trip that they've played in so far this season. They're coming off, back-to-back games against the Minnesota Timberwolves. They lost the first one on Friday. They followed that Friday one up with on Saturday. Lost on Saturday, and then they actually beat Minnesota in overtime on Monday. So one day of rest in there as well. San Antonio has actually taken a really deep slide. They've been kind of shifting back and forth between being a really bad team and being and just a bad team, right? Recently, they've been more of a really bad team. They're 1-9 straight up in their last 10, 3-7 against the spread. Coming off a 21-point home loss against the Washington Wizards. This game is the 3rd game of a 4-game homestand for them. They failed to cover in 5 straight games, so not as competitive recently. So it's Sacramento or nothing for me. I don't like that they do have the look-ahead spot to the Indiana Pacers. That'll be the rematch against, Sabonis and Halliburton's supposed to be back. Not sure how effective he's going to be in his first game back, but he is slated for his return in that game when these two teams, are supposed to play each other. And that game will take place on what's today? Today Wednesday. So that game will today Wednesday. That game is actually going to take place on Friday. So it'll be one day off. It's not like they, looking just ahead. Sacramento is also already 2-0 straight up and against the spread against the Kings already this season. I would like to, look into, not just the trends in this one. The trends tell me to take the Kings, but I would like to, make sure that the Kings are going to come out and be focused in this game before I take them. I always talk about that lack of focus for, some of these teams in these specific spots. And if teams aren't focused, then you do see, a more desperate team that hasn't won a game in a while can come out here and actually get a win and beat you if you come out, too flat. But I think what the Kings do well is they score the ball. What the Spurs don't do well is they don't defend at all. So that's another reason why it's kind of Sacramento and nothing for me. Like I said, they have beaten this team already twice. They covered both spreads, scoring 132 and 130 points in both of those games. So I was looking at a team total to go over, but I think I'm gonna stay off of that. Kings 4-1 straight up and against the spread. In conference versus conference opponents as away favorites. They're also 3-0 straight up and against the spread as away favorites in conference games after a previous win. So typically after they win, they back it up with another win as long as they're a road favorite in conference games. You look at the Spurs, they're just 3-6 straight up and 7-2 to the under, coming off a previous home loss where they're a home dog in the next game. So they just lost to the Wizards, of course. They lost that game. They're a home dog. They typically don't score a lot of points, but we know that the Kings defense does play better on the road. So I know my guy RC talked about the under. That's the only way I'd be able to look in this game as well. The total in this one has shot up to 244 points. And now you see the market kind of buying it back down to about 230, 243. I know a lot of people scared of unders. I know a lot of people don't necessarily play them. And it could be, scarier than Halloween to take under, specifically on the San Antonio Spurs. But the trends kind of point towards the under in this spot because they haven't been able to score the ball. They just went under the other day against the Washington Wizards. So those are my thoughts on this game. I do think this is a potential triple-double type game for Sabonis. Although I will say, if Sabonis may not be completely locked in on this game because he is going to Indiana in his next game. So maybe it's a big time De'Aaron Fox type game, but I think I'm gonna lay off the props in this one. I do think that there's some substance to the San Antonio Spurs being the worst 3-point defensive team in the league, and Sacramento loving to shoot the 3-point ball. To me, it kind of makes me want to look towards De'Aaron Fox assists, but Sabonis runs a lot of that, high, point forward, point center type action where he does a lot of the dribbling handoffs, and they run the offense through him at the top of the key. So I think it's a lot of ways you can take this game. I think it could be Kings team total over. Like I said, I think it's about 124.5, but they have scored 130 points in both of the games already this season. I also think you could just play them on a spread, but I think I'm gonna just kind of sit this one out and use the Kings as a parlay piece. So I'll get to that in a second. So next game up, Warriors and the Timberwolves. Total in this one is 240 points. It was 240 points. It actually came down to 238, which is also interesting because the Golden State Warriors don't play a lick of defense on the road. That trend has kind of continued. They're coming off a road win against the Oklahoma City Thunder in a game that they gave up a 20-point lead, and they did win and cover that game. I think they won that game by 8. But that game also went over the total. So I think the Warriors on the road as away favorites are something like 10-1-1 to the over, I think, or something like that. The problem with that is that the Timberwolves have actually been playing defense. If you've been listening to my shows and following me just for the last week, you know that we've cashed on 2 unders for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And typically it's because they have these really, really high inflated totals, and they've been really, kind of focusing in on the defensive end. So that's why their games have gone under. Is it scary to take an under for the Golden State Warriors? Absolutely, 100% it is. As scary as it is, probably take one in the San Antonio game. So I think this game is super conflicting. On one side, you get the Warriors. They are on a 3-game winning streak. They're playing off 1 day's rest. This is the front end of a back-to-back for them as well. They will play in Denver tomorrow against the Nuggets, who will be rested and kind of waiting for them. Minnesota coming off the overtime loss to the Sacramento Kings 2 days ago. This will be their third straight home game and their fourth game of a 6-game. I'm sorry, they had won 3 straight home games. This will be the fourth game of a 6-game homestand. They do host the Orlando Magic on Friday, so they'll get tomorrow off. Also, a revenge game for Minnesota as well. The Warriors did come into Minnesota and beat the brakes off them earlier this season. They beat them 137-114. Golden State has scored 47 points in the first quarter. I remember that game vividly. I think it was on a Sunday. Golden State couldn't miss. First quarter, Draymond, I think, might have had a double-double already. He was dishing the rock left and right. Steph, Clay, they was hitting 3-pointers, 5-pointers, half-court shots, layups. It was a lot of stuff going on in that game. And Minnesota, they had Karl-Anthony Towns in at that point in time, but they couldn't stop it. Like, it was pretty bad. So they won that. Golden State won that first quarter by 20 points, and they never looked back in that game. Like I said, winning by 23 points. So it's a difficult cap for me, man. I don't feel like, when I don't have a big enough edge, I just, kind of stay off the game. I can see the Timberwolves keeping this one close. Anthony Edwards has been playing like a, his hair's on fire. We cashed the other day with his 25 points plus De'Aaron Fox 25 points. I do think that something like that with Steph isn't, applicable again today. I just hadn't really looked into it. But matter of fact, let's see real quick. So if we parlay, because I do think Anthony Edwards probably draws Wiggins tonight, but good luck to Wiggins because Anthony Edwards has been kind of killing it recently. D'Angelo Russell, revenge game for him as well. We know that he's playing against his former team, and he typically plays well against the Warriors as well. But if we just parlayed Anthony Edwards 25 and Steph 25, you do get minus 112 odds. I think that's a nice little 2-leg parlay. I'm gonna keep that in my bet slip. Might play it, might not. But I do think that, if the Warriors with a total this high, Steph has been on fire. I think he's coming off a 30-plus point game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. They don't have a guy that can guard him, which is why we took De'Aaron Fox in the last game to go over 25 points. So, I mean, if you can't guard De'Aaron Fox, you definitely good luck trying to guard Steph Curry. 25 and 25 for both of those guys is minus 112. I think that hits, man. Anthony Edwards, Steph Curry, 25 points apiece. Nice little 2-leg parlay to reduce the juice. You don't have to worry about Anthony Edwards scoring 30 or Steph scoring 30, even though they both could go for 30 in this game. But like I said, it's going to be interesting to see if the Golden State Warriors rest their starters tomorrow, or if they actually try to play their starters tomorrow. Last game after they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, I did watch the post-game interview, and Steph said that, eventually he was asked about playing on the second leg of back-to-backs, and he did say that he hopes that it starts to happen really, really soon. So I'm not 100% sure. I do think that, watching this game, we'll be able to learn a lot, especially in the fourth quarter. If it's a tight game and not a blowout in any way, and the Warriors have to play all of their guys and really go for this win, then I think that, it's definitely a fade spot for them tomorrow, especially if they win tonight. And they may rest the starters, trying to win one of these games, but traveling to altitude tomorrow in Denver, probably not the greatest of spots. So I want to get on Denver tomorrow, but haven't really gotten there yet. And I think that spot tomorrow is indicative of what happens tonight. Timberwolves, I don't really want to fade them. They've been playing really, really well at home. I think they're 9-4 straight up as home dogs, straight up and against the spread. So, like I said, really difficult game to cap. I would stay off the side and probably just play that 2-leg parlay I gave you guys of Anthony Edwards and Steph Curry that both scored 25 points, because I could absolutely see that happening. Warriors giving up points left and right. Anthony Edwards on fire, and Steph Curry scoring, out of his mind recently. So I like that parlay. Might get there with that. Next game up I want to talk about is the did I skip Brooklyn? I think I skipped. So the Nets and the Celtics, man. So spreading this one opened at 8.5 is what I saw it at, and I don't have a banner for this one. It's up to 9 now. The total came down from 230 all the way down to 224. And I think I agree with the total coming down because Boston has been getting these inflated totals, and they haven't really been scoring. This team is 0-6 ATS in their last 6 games, and a big part of them not being able to cover their last 6 spreads has been because their offense is just not as efficient as it once was. They started the season off the greatest offense that we had ever seen statistically, and they've been kind of coming back down to earth. They also will be without Marcus Smart, even though Robert Williams got ruled in. For the Nets, this will be the first road game after a 3-game homestand. This is a one-off road game for them as well, because they'll return home and host the Washington Wizards on Saturday. Ben Simmons and TJ Warren have both been ruled out, but the Nets have kind of, they've figured it out a little bit. Head of the snake being Head of the snake being Kyrie Irving. He's kind of put these guys on his back, getting real good minutes from Royce O'Neal and Nicholas Claxton. Guys are, really stepping up and kind of filling the void without KD being there. I did see a report that Watanabe is going to be in for this game. He was listed as questionable, I think. And then, like I talked about, for the Celtics, this team, interestingly enough, it sounds really crazy, and this is just something that I've been kind of tracking in my head. The Celtics play, I think they have the best ATS record when they're coming off of when they have no rest. So on the second leg of a back-to-back, also a third game in 4 nights, the Celtics play really, really well. And, conversely, when they are playing on 2 days rest, this team is just 2-7 straight up and 1-8 against the spread. Not 100% sure if I've ever seen a trend like that where you get more rest, but it's not a lot of rest. It's not 4 days. It's not 5 days. It's 2 days or more, and you play your worst brand of basketball. It's really, really conflicting to me. It kind of makes me want to look towards towards Brooklyn, even though Boston has owned Brooklyn with and without KD. Of course, they swept them last year in the playoffs. They won 4. They won and covered the last 5 regular season meetings as well, including 2 already this season, once with KD, once without KD, and once this month and once last month as well. And I just kind of talked about, their struggles for the Celtics. They don't play well in this spot. So I think it's too many points. I think the line makers haven't quite adjusted to the Celtics, taking a step back with their offense. I also think Marcus Smart, who has really contributed to this team a lot. A lot of people don't think about that, but Marcus Smart has really helped this team. I think this team is 7-2. I think maybe 7-2, 7-3 to the under without Marcus Smart. So real quick, I want to look at that. So team equals Celtics, and I want to see how Marcus Smart has impacted this offense when he has not been available. Not in player list name. I meant to look at this earlier. All right, so Marcus Smart, the Celtics this year without Marcus Smart, they're 7-3 to the under. Games are averaging about 220 points. They're winning by an average of 4, 112 to 108. And I can share this so you guys can see it as well for the people who like the visual. And then I just want to compare it to with Marcus Smart out. So if you're watching on YouTube, you guys can see 6-4 they are straight up, but only 4-6 against the spread, 7-3 to the under as well. Only winning those games by average of about 4 points. You can see more recently here at the bottom, they've actually not covered their last 4 games without Marcus Smart, dating back to the 23rd of this month when they played against the Magic and lost that game. So 4 ATS losses in a row. Should have lost to the Lakers too. Bron didn't cry enough for them to overturn that call, but and to get the free throws, but that's neither here nor there. So with Marcus Smart in, you guys can see that they're actually 22-19 against the spread, 30-11 straight up, and they're going over just a lot more, 52%, I think, compared to about 29-30% is what we just saw. And you guys can see that they're winning by a bigger margin by about 6 points with Marcus Smart in. So this Celtics team has not been really covering these big numbers, which is why I'll be looking towards the Brooklyn Nets in this one. Also, let's look at the Celtics real quick when they're home favorite, and their rest equals is greater than or equal to 2, and their line has them winning by at least let's just say 9 points. 0-2 straight up, 0-2 against the spread. This happened twice. They lost to the Magic straight up, and they lost to the Pacers straight up in this spot as well. So this is the exact reason why I'd be leaning towards the Brooklyn Nets in this spot. The Celtics don't cover games when they are. I just dropped the line to 7. So when they're projected to win the game by 7 points or more, as a home favorite off 2 days rest or more, you see that this team is 1-3 straight up, 0-4 against the spread. I think I'm gonna play Brooklyn. It's probably gonna be a smaller play because I am trying to stay away from the sides, but I just kind of talked myself into it, man. Give me the Brooklyn Nets plus the 10, especially now this is up 10. I need to write that down because I didn't have that right. I did not have that written down, if I'm being honest. Brooklyn plus 10. Brooklyn plus 10 will be added. Okay. All right, so that's that game. I don't really have I didn't really dive into the player props. I do think that if you're gonna take Brooklyn, of course, looking at Kyrie, dude's been absolutely on a tear. The Boston Celtics don't have their best perimeter defender when you take away Marcus Smart. So it's left to Derek White and Malcolm Brogdon, who Malcolm Brogdon is a pretty good defender all the way back to his days at UVA under Tony Bennett, but Kyrie can't be stopped. Smoothest, criminal in the game right now as far as handling the ball, getting to his spots. Also, he knows, that arena, TD Garden really, really well from his time playing there. So, give me Brooklyn, man. Give me Brooklyn plus the 10. I'm gonna make that official play as well. Brooklyn plus the 10. Moving along, and I do want to hurry up because I've been talking already for too long. That's that game. The late games I don't really have a lot on anyway. One other game. So Thunder and the Rockets. Thunder and the Rockets is a game that I did want to talk about. And we did just get news that Danny Green is expected to make his season debut. So Thunder and the Rocket, pretty simple game for me, man. I know that the one thing I looked at when I was on Let's Cap earlier with my guy Ronald, we looked at the Thunder as away favorites, and they don't tend to play well when they're playing down the competition. But it's no way I can look at the Rockets in this spot. They are coming off a win against the Detroit Pistons the other day. They are rested. They're back at home. The Thunder, are without Lou Dort in this spot as well. He's out indefinitely. I'm thinking that he probably won't come back until the second half of the season, after the All-Star break. The Thunder, this is their first road game after a 3-game homestand as well. They're coming off the 8-point loss to the Golden State Warriors. Also a revenge game for the Thunder because they did lose 118 to 105 or 105 to 118 on November 26th. Jalen Green and KPJ are out. For me, that makes it extremely difficult for me to want to back this Houston Rockets team. I mean, not that I would ever want to do that anyway. And if you do want to play them, I think that you probably look towards Houston in the first half in this spot. But I think it's a Thunder spot, man. I'm just kind of frustrated that I didn't get on the number because I didn't cap the game. When I wrote it down last night, the line was at -4.5, -5, I think. Now it's up to 5.5. I agree with the movement there. I think the Thunder should smack these boys up. To stay off of the spread, though, what I wanted to pivot to, because I'm actually finishing up. I don't like the Raptors game. Don't really like the Raptors on the West Coast playing these late games. Never can back the Jazz as a home favorite, even though they have been playing, a tad bit better with Walker Kessler at the center position and Kelly Olynyk out. But that's not a game that I really like. And the Hawks and the Suns game, too many conflicting trends for me. I don't feel like I got a real good sense of when to play the Hawks because they've been so sporadic, and the Suns have been hot, but this is the last game of I think a 5-game homestand for them. They don't play well in that spot. The Hawks actually play well traveling from road to road, even though they play poorly traveling from home to road. I hope that makes sense. So first game on the road is a fade spot, which I should have played the other day with the Portland Trailblazers, but can't trust them either, so I stayed off. And then their second game on the road is typically when they play a best brand of basketball, one of their best brands of basketball, and they play a lot better. So I'm not on that game at all. The Suns have been a really, really good defensive team. And the Hawks have just been kind of sporadic. Trae Young didn't play in that game the other day. I think that's important to mention. And he is probable for this game. So having him back, maybe that, not maybe, but, that'll definitely help the Hawks offense. But I'm not on this game. I didn't really even look at anything in it. I just kind of jotted down the spots. Phoenix, 6 of their last 7, covered 6 of their last 7 as well. The home team is 7-0 against the spread the last 7 meetings in this one as well. So, like I said, not anything that I was really looking at in this one. Hawks are 1-5-1 against the spread their last 7 games in Phoenix as well. So yeah, a lot of conflicting trends on both sides. But the 2-leg money line parlay that I was talking about for you guys is the Thunder. Taking the Thunder, if you take the Thunder and you parlay them with the Sacramento Kings, comes out to be like a -107. I think that's a nice little, people that's been following me for a while know I don't typically do parlays, but I do see the Thunder beating the Rockets tonight, and I do see the Kings beating the Spurs, man. So I think a little 2-leg money line parlay ain't never hurt nobody, as long as both of the legs cash. The Spurs 3-13 straight up as home dogs versus conference opponents this season. They haven't won in this spot since December 26th when they beat the Jazz. The Kings 7-1 straight up as away favorites this season. 4-0 straight up as away favorites versus teams that have a win percentage that's 40% or less. So I like the Kings for that reason. And I think the Rockets, they win once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. And it's probably more than once a month, but probably about once every 3.5 weeks. I think they just got their win for the week or for the last 2 weeks. So give me the Thunder in that spot. Faded the Rockets. 2-team money line parlay would be the Thunder and the Kings minus 107 odds there. So that's what I got for you guys today, man. Brooklyn plus the 10 is what I just talked about. Thunder and the Kings money line parlay minus 107. And Jared Jackson Jr. Over his 24.5 points plus rebounds. That's my favorite player prop of the day. Those are the 3 plays that I like the most. It's a lot of leans, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to have too much volume. I think those 3 plays are probably enough for me. Also, I might put a little something on that parlay that I just kind of made up on the fly. Steph plus Stephen Curry, Anthony Edwards 25 plus points parlay was a minus 112. Yeah, I think I might do that as well. Those would be the 4 plays for me today. If you guys have action that you like, send it to me, share it with me. I'm gonna go through the YouTube comment section, send me a request, and let me know what you guys are on. What up, Markel? Steve says the Magic are in their 3rd back-to-back mini-series and heavy underdogs, and so far they're 5-0, feeling like they go 6-0 tonight. I could see it. I could definitely see it, Steve. Also could see Philly coming out there and smacking them boys up, now that they, probably not inebriated anymore. So I could see it going both ways, which is why I'm off. Markel said he's leaning on that first half Magic money line, but did take Harden over 10.5 assists. I couldn't talk you off of that. Banchero points and Markel Fultz assists in a same game parlay. Euphoria said he's on that. Raven said I'm on the Magic plus the 9.5. Steve said the Magic smoked the Raptors and Celtics in these back-to-back series recently. They were heavy underdogs in all the games. That's one of the reasons why I like it. One thing that I'll show you though, Steve, is that the Celtic. I mean, I'm sorry, not the Celtics. The Philadelphia 76ers do play extremely well in this spot specifically, though. So when I looked at this game, and one of the reasons why I didn't jump right back on them is because, and we did just get news that Wendell Carter Jr. is going to be in. So if you look at the 76ers and they're coming off a previous loss and it's a same season loss this season, this team is 6-1-1 against the spread, 6-1-1 straight up as well. I just want to show you guys this. I'm not telling you guys not, take whatever it is that you absolutely love, but the Philadelphia 76ers, this is what I got for you guys. I'm sharing my screen right now. This is the Sixers on my screen. You guys see the Sixers when they've lost a game this season and they play that same opponent again. They're 6-1 straight up, 6-1 against the spread, winning those games by an average of about 10 points. And they've covered every single one of them except against the Wizards. They were laying 4.5 in that spot, and they won the game by 5. Well, I'm sorry, they actually lost that game outright. And that was actually on the road. So if you look at them at home in their revenge of the same season loss, they're actually 4-0 straight up, 4-0 against the spread, winning by an average of about 12 points. So that's what I got for you guys. 2 conflicting trends. I'm gonna stay off of this one. I could kind of see it going both ways, but if I did have a lean, it would be towards the Orlando Magic to kind of keep it close. I do think that the Magic can keep it close. Keep this one pretty close, pretty tight. So I would lean on Orlando Magic with you guys. I think they're catching a tad bit too many points. It's difficult for this team to lose by double digits, especially if they're not in a bad travel spot. So that would be my thoughts on there. Euphoria said he on job points. I think Memphis has not won a single game at home against the Blazers last 10. I got to check that, Euphoria. That's an interesting stat. My guy Jay Money in the building. He said he on the Nets plus 9. I took the Nets plus 10, Jay. I'm taking the Nets plus 10. He got the Thunder minus 5.5, which I really, really like. And he on the Spurs first half plus the 4.5. I do think that's a lot of points they're getting in the first half, because if the Spurs keep it close, typically just like the Rockets recently, this team fades in the second half. The Spurs, they were actually keeping it close against the Wizards as well the other day before they got smoked in the second half. I think it was the start of the fourth quarter where they just couldn't score the ball anymore. Literally on his points plus rebounds. Off topic, if y'all follow tennis, follow somebody Parks. She's on fire, has a next Serena Williams potential. Okay. Euphoria says Sabonis rebounds and Trey Jones assists in the same game parlay. I like Trey Jones assist tonight. That game should be played with a lot of pace. We know that the Kings like to get up and down the court. I'm already on the over 244 in Sacramento and San Antonio. Best of luck, Raven. That's a tough one. That's a real tough one there. I hope you cash it, but I'm not I'm not on that. And Steph Curry 25 plus minus 105 on DK. What Euphoria said, I like it. Euphoria. I'm gonna put a little something on Steph and Ant to go to both score 25 points. And I'm gonna do it on DK now that you showed me it's better odds than on the book that I was just looking at. So Brooklyn plus the 9. Okay. Also Tatum PRA 40 plus and Kai over 27.5 is plus 105. Okay. Hey, that y'all getting it's too many for me now. I gotta be able to watch these games. I can't put all this stuff together. You are the dude. I don't place all my bets until I listen to your show late. After every noon, I join. So about 3:58 sometimes. Okay, I appreciate that. Get money. When I first looked at the card, my first thought was Sixers first quarter. Okay. Yeah. So that's just my insight. Send me your request. Like I said, man, I'm gonna get through the chat real quick. I'm gonna just do a recap and give you guys my official plays. And it's 130 people watching right now, man. Hit the like button for me, subscribe, check out the podcast, do all that good stuff, man. Join on Twitter if you guys want to share your plays as well. I want to come to Straight Bets and Dream real quick because I know they were one of the first two that requested up. But official plays for me: Brooklyn plus the 10, Thunder Kings. I'm taking both of them on the money line minus 107. Jared Jackson Jr. to go over his 24.5 points plus rebounds, and give me Steph plus Ant, man. 25 points a piece for them guys parlay. You can get that at a minus 105. Shout out to Euphoria for providing that information over on DraftKings. So 4 plays for me tonight, all 1 unit plays. Trying to go 4-0 one time for the one time in my best J Money voice, man. Straight Bets. What's going on, man? How you doing? Straight Bets. Can you hear me? Sounds like a no. Dream. What's going on, my guy?
What's the vibes, man? How you?
I'm good, bro. How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. I had a crazy day yesterday. I got hooked 3 times, but I cashed that mellow triple-double I gave out in here, so that was good.
Yeah, that's how you get it back, Dream. A little sprinkle on the blunt money bets. I like it.
That's it, man. But yeah, hopefully I don't get hooked tonight. I got 3 plays that I love. Jeremy Sohan, I've been on old boy a lot this year. I'm on this PRA over 22.5. I got that at DraftKings. He covered this number the last 7. As we've been talking about, his usage is through the roof. And the way he's going right now, he can score 20 points. So if you're going to give me 22.5 PRA in a game with a total of like 240, I'm going to take it. So I'm on that. I love the Warriors first half. Same reasons as I like when they played OKC. I just been on the Warriors first half a lot. Basically, this is a great team. I think they're going to end up being in the Western Conference Finals, maybe even being in the finals again. In general, normally, like over time, NBA teams that are great, they start getting their shit together at the All-Star break.
That's a fact.
So I just felt like on this road trip, the All-Star break is like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I just feel like they tired of that narrative that they can't win on the road. They're one of the worst road teams. They got awful splits, so they just going to come out and play A ball. So I took them in the first half. I wanted to get them full game, but by the time I got there, the hook, it was over 1 possession. So I said, forget it. Just give me the first half. And last but not least, Sagoon from Houston. I'm just going to keep playing, old boy. I took his PRA today. I've been playing his points plus assists, but I took his PRA because he had 21 and 19 his last game he played OKC, and that was before they started running the offense through him. So his PRA is 37.5. He's had a triple-double 2 games ago, and he's flirted with 2 of the last 3 games. So he has 7 and 7 in the other 2 games. 7 assists and 7 rebounds. So no Jalen Green tonight. They should be playing through, old boy. And he's covered this line for the last 6 with Jalen Green playing most of those games. So I love those. As far as blunt money bets, I kind of got too many of those to mention tonight. So I'm going to just go with my favorite ones. You could look on my page for the rest. My favorite ones is Ja triple-double and Sagoon triple-double. I love Ja triple-double basically because he's had 2 in a row. and Portland allowed the most rebounds to point guards. So if he get 10 rebounds, I know he's gonna try and get them 10 assists and get that triple double. And Sagoon, I just mentioned why. He's a triple double threat. He's like baby Jokic at this point. So I got both of them each at plus 800. Then I parlayed them together for plus 8,000. And that's that.
Damn. Okay. Ja triple double and Sengun triple double. The first play you gave our Dream was that that was Sengun PRA. Did you take his PRA?
Yeah, I took that. That's the last one, but the first one was Sohan PRA.
Okay, so
Sohan PRA and Sagoon PRA.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, I just want to make sure I heard it right. Okay, so I know Sokan was the first one, and then Sengun his PRA, and then his triple double too, and you played it straight, and you put it with Ja, and you played Ja straight too, and you parlay both of them together, 800 apiece, and then 8,000 together.
Yep.
Okay.
I got that off DraftKings. The numbers will probably vary where you at, but I got that off DraftKings.
I like it, Jay. Okay. Some good insight there, man. Especially, I think the Ja triple double definitely in play if Desmond Bane doesn't play in this game, because Ja's gonna have to do more. He's gonna have to score more. This team struggles to score the ball, which is why their numbers have been down recently without Desmond Bane. When you kind of, you pinning on guys like John Conchar and some of these other guys, I don't think Zaire Williamson got his his whole all his feet underneath him. So kind of difficult for them guys to score the ball. Portland does give it up though. One thing, we're gonna see how they travel after 6 straight home games on the road. So could not talk you off of any of these, Dream. I hope you cashing, bro. Hope you get away from that hook, man. You ain't no fish. Get away from the hooks, bro.
That's a fact, man. It happens, man.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact, Jay. Got me last night too, bro. AD hooked me. Like I was a wide mouth bass, bro.
That boy Butterfingers, man. I was watching. I'm like, bro, if you don't grab this damn ball,
bro.
He had 4 rebounds that just went right through his hands.
Yeah, it was crazy. Absolutely. Right back at you, Jane. Let's get some cash tonight, bro. I think so. Real quick before I come to Vaughn, Frank just dropped off some nice plays in the chat as well. He said he's on Harden over his assists, which I could absolutely see. Cashing. He's on the Spurs plus Spurs first quarter plus the 2.5, which I also like that look as well. I know my guy Jay said he was on the Spurs first half plus the 4.5, but he's taking the first quarter specifically. If the Spurs gonna keep it close, it's typically gonna be early. So I could see that look going through cashing as well, Frank, in this spot. Kings don't play that much defense, but I need them to play enough tonight to win the game. I don't care if they cover the spread. I need enough tonight to win the game. Why I'm taking them on the money line. And Frank, shout out to Frank. He also mentioned CP3 double. So CP3 double as well. Nice spot for CP3. To get that double tonight. I think he's had one. I don't know how many games in a row it has been now, but he's been cashing in this spot. Not a real interesting game for me though. Matt Stoney said Memphis 1-4 last 5 home games versus the Blazers. Last win was the 2020 season. Okay. That's pretty insane because Portland was so bad last year. I don't know if people remember how bad Portland was when CJ got traded and Dame was hurt, and they had these guys that's not even on the team anymore now on that roster. I remember betting against them and making a lot of money last year. So, okay. I like the looks, man. Y'all keep dropping y'all looks in the chat. Shadow Stephen, are we on JJJ today? Absolutely. I took his 24.5, my only player prop only straight player prop that I gave out today. 24.5 points plus rebounds is what I'm on in that spot. Let me go back to the chat real quick and kick it to I'm gonna try to go back and forth between the chat and between the YouTube chat and jumping back into space as well. So let me kick it to Vaughn real quick, and then Ben, I'm gonna come to you. What's up, Vaughn?
Yo, what's good, bro?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. Looking to bounce back, man. Same thing you say. I think I went 0-3 last night. Got hooked on LeBron points, got hooked on 80 rebounds, and got hooked on something else too. So a little bit of a bounce back spot. I went with so I got a 4-leg parlay. Pretty simple. Boston money line, Philly money line, Embiid for 25, and Tatum for 7 rebounds, and I got plus 110.
Okay, so 4-leg parlay there. You said Boston plus Philly on the money line, and Embiid. What you say for Embiid?
Embiid for 25 points and Jason Tatum for 7 rebounds.
Okay, plus 110.
Yep, plus 110. Love that play. Really good odds. I think if Embiid plays, I don't see a world where he doesn't get 25. Jason Tatum usage has been up, double-digit rebounds the last 2 games. So if you wanted to play his rebounds and assists, then I understand that. I took a light ladder on his rebounds as well. I played Tobias Harris points at 14 and a half. I like that with or without Embiid. He typically plays well versus the Magic. A lot of people gave out the analysis about that. What it is Wednesday, so that was Monday night that they played against each other. I'm on Steph points. I don't think people have been paying attention, and you lightly mentioned it. What Steph has been doing over the last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks, Steph hit 41 versus the Wizards, 29 versus 41, 29, 26, 34, 35 versus Memphis, 38 versus OKC the other night. Steph been balling these last 2 weeks, so I just took his points at 29 and a half. I do like the parlay that you mentioned at 25 and a half for him and Ant. So I like that play as well. Steph points. I'm going to play Steph Curry threes if he's ruled in. Some of this stuff is, what they're doing with this injury report is crazy. And one of my favorite plays for the night, if Desmond Bane is ruled in, that will be official for me, would be Memphis first quarter. So looking at the trend, shit like that, Portland 5 games, even though that was on their home stand and they now on the road. This is their first game on the road. Looking at Memphis, Desmond Bane just got ruled in, so I'm going Memphis first quarter.
Okay.
So Memphis, 3 out of their last 4 games, they gave up 47 to Sacramento, 38 to Minnesota, and 32 to the Pacers. So a reason I like this play is because I see Memphis kind of in a bounce back spot. Memphis been playing like shit. They've lost their last 6 first quarters, even though 5 of those was on that little road trip they was on. Last 2 games, they're giving up 35 per game, allowing teams to shoot 60% in the first quarter. So the stats kind of tell you that they've been struggling without Steven Adams. And I just like them to kind of get back right tonight. So this is truly just a play that, hoping that Memphis comes out and play some good basketball tonight. I played them first half for a half unit. I played first quarter for a half unit. I like both of those play. I really like Memphis in a full-on bounce back spot. If you want to take their team total at over 122 and a half, I like that one too. So yeah, man, those are my officials, man. I like the 4-leg parlay. 76ers in Boston with Embiid 25 points and Tatum 7 rebounds. Tobias Harris points at 14. Steph Curry points. Memphis first quarter. Minus it's my move since Desmond Bane got ruled in, but I got it at 1.5.
Okay. Hey, solid looks there, Von. Solid looks there. If you guys want to tell Von on any of those. Best of luck to you, Von. Hope you cash him, man. Let me kick it to Ben real quick. What's going on, Ben?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How about yourself, man? What we doing tonight, Ben? How's your week been going? Tell me what you liking tonight.
I was gonna be a little down last night if LeBron didn't hit that triple double, but he bailed a bunch of people out, including myself. So we made it be a decent night last night with that plus 1,400.
Oh yeah.
So I'm on a couple different things today. I'll start with the straight bets. Jaren Jackson Jr. Blocks over 2.5.
Okay.
At this point, it's going to be autopilot for me until it gets adjusted on the books at home. At home, he's had 3+ blocks in every home game he's played, but 2, and 3+ blocks in every home game against Western Conference teams, except 1 game. So, and that was 1 game against the Spurs, where they had just played the Spurs the game before, and he got in foul trouble that game.
Mm-hmm.
And he still had 2. So, I mean, even if he gets in foul trouble tonight, he's still probably getting 3 blocks. Like he still does that all the time. But if he isn't in foul trouble, we might get this in the first half. So. I got that at minus 125. I'm on Fred VanVleet over 20.5 points. I'm hoping I can talk some people out of this one because I'm trying to find a reason. I was trying to find a reason not to take it this morning. So Fred is averaging over 26 a game without OG in the lineup. Then you take a look at his splits home and road the past month. He's averaging 6 more points per game on the road than at home. He's averaging right around 23.5 on the road. Then you take a look at the Utah side. Utah allows the most points in the league to opposing primary ball handlers, and Fred's averaging the most assists on the team last 30 days. So I would take that as him being the primary ball handler. And they're averaging the most points per game to opposing leading scorers over the last 30 games, or 30 days, sorry. And he's been leading. He's the leading scorer this year for the team without OG at 26. The next closest is Pascal at 21. And then you look at how point guards are scoring against Utah over the last 30 days. And it's been with jump shooting, especially behind the line, because they're giving up about 2 more points per game to point guards over their scoring average last 30 days, and about 1.4 more threes per game to point guards over the last 30 days. And then just to top it off, Pascal going off for me would probably be the only way that for whatever reason this wouldn't hit. And with OG out, it kind of feels like Pascal's had to put a little more emphasis on the defensive end. And I think that would be a pretty normal reason why his average would be down if technically another starter is out, right? And then he's probably going to be tasked with guard Mark tonight. Either him or Scotty Barnes, but he's going to have to at least have some time on him. And I think just from every angle on this, I love.
Hey, Ben, you still there? If you are, we lost you.
Fleets and smaller bets on the ladders there. Then I got, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you good now. You good. You faded out for a second, but you're back.
You got me now?
Yeah, you good.
So I said I got Van Fleet laddered up to 30.
Okay.
And then I kind of got like a similar play to you with the 25s. I opted for Shy and Steph again for 25 apiece, just like I had the other day. And then I put, just to kill some juice earlier this morning, I put Giddey 4 rebounds on there because, again, he's had 4 rebounds in 43 straight games. So I got that this morning at minus 120. I would guess it's a little juiced more just because Shy's points are up by 1 or 2 since this morning. If you wanted to take it at whatever the juice is now, you easily could. I still think you're gonna cash. I mean, that's why I played it. But I mean, if you want another juice killer on that, you could go like Jaylen Brown 4 rebounds or Trey Jones 4 assists because those are hitting, or Kyrie Irving 4 assists because those are all hitting at ridiculous rates too, like way more than what the odds that they're giving you on the book are. And then I got 110 to 10K entry. Let me pull it up just because it's a little elaborate here, but it is Jaylen Brown 4 rebounds, Kyrie 4 assists, Tatum 6 rebounds. Giddey 4 rebounds, and Trey Jones 4 assists. I know I spoke on a couple of those already. The last time Kyrie did have 4 assists without KD and without James Harden was in April of 2021. So I feel pretty good about him getting 4 assists tonight. Jaylen Brown's got 4 rebounds in 22 of his last 23 home games. Tatum's got 6 rebounds in 17 of his last 19 home games. We said Giddey, 40-something in a row, 4+ rebounds. And Trey Jones, 14 of his last 15 games, 4+ assists at home. So that's my 10 to 10K right there. Hopefully we can keep climbing that ladder. That's what I got tonight.
Okay. Hey, I like that you did the research behind it. You just ain't out here grabbing stuff out of the air, Ben. I like that, bro. All the research there with it.
Yeah. We got to make sure we got all the edges we can get, right?
Absolutely. I like that you got the analysis to go with it. Okay. Best of luck to you, Ben. I hope you cash the looks, bro. Let me kick it to big Mike real quick, and then Frag, I'm gonna get you up as well. What up, Big Mike? How you doing, bro?
What's good, Chris? How are you?
I'm good, man. What's going on with you?
Not much, man. I just had a quick question. I joined kind of late, so somebody might have spoke on it. Warriors minus a half a point, first quarter spread. What you think about that?
Honestly, I don't have too many thoughts on it just because I didn't bet it. I mean, I didn't like really look into the angle. So you said who you said the Warriors in the first quarter?
Yeah, yep.
I Yeah, I would have to look into it a little bit more, Mike. I think some things to kind of take in consideration is how they typically start games off. When they got a game the next day, because they do play tomorrow. So I would look into that angle. I would also look at how the Timberwolves do coming off off a loss because and when the next game is at home because they are at home off a loss. So those are two things that kind of jump out to me. Also, Rudy Gobert, I know he hasn't been officially ruled in, but does that impact you taking that line? Do you trust the San Antonio? I'm sorry. Do you trust the Warriors second unit more than you trust the Timberwolves first unit? I'm sorry, the Timberwolves second unit. Like which one of those second units? Because a lot of the times when you're taking the first quarter, the starters are gone, right? Like you get Draymond is still probably gonna be in, but you trust Poole and some of those other bench guys, Kumingas, over guys like some of the bench players like Nas Reed and some of those backup guards for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Noel, Jalen Noel, like those guys. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one, Big Mike. I don't want to speculate too much. I don't have like a clear, concise answer where I feel like I have done enough research to back it up. But those are the ways that I would kind of look at the game to figure out if I did like it.
All right, that's cool.
What was you thinking? What was you thinking, Mike?
I actually just got off work right now, so I didn't even have a chance to look at nothing. I was trying to. That was just one that popped my mind.
Why did that one pop your mind so much?
Just because I know, like you said again about the second half and Poole. I personally like Jordan Poole and the way that he been playing, even with Steph and Clay, everybody back in the lineup. Poole's still gonna get his, so I can see him coming out and get at least 5-6 points first quarter. And like you said, though, it's just the other guys on the bench, Kuminga. He's been kind of iffy for me though lately, so I've been kind of staying away from.
Right.
Staying away from that, but
yeah,
I'm pretty much like everybody else though on that second half.
Okay. Yeah, those are the things. That's the way I would kind of look at it, Mike. I would look at checking those angles for sure.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Best of luck on whatever you place tonight, man.
Same to you.
All right, let me kick it to Frag. Frag, what's going on? Then I'm coming to my guy YBB. What up, Frag?
What's good, Chris? How you doing? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How about yourself? How's your day going?
Hey, shit, I can't call it, man. So I got 2 plays for today, man. I'm coming with you again, man. I'm coming right back to Ant-Man, man. Now they got it at 34.5 PR, man. I don't really got to explain too much, man. This transition beast, man. Gets the boards and going straight to the glass. And then I'm going PRA John Morant, man. 43.5. 43.5 PRA for John Morant. I just really hope Desmond Bain gets ruled out.
He got ruled in. Fred.
Oh, he got ruled in?
Yeah, he got ruled in about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, fuck. Oh, man.
Did you play it already?
Yeah, I was hoping he had got ruled out because, man, they half-court offense has been really struggling, so I was looking for Morant to just, push the pacing, really get in transition, and best way to do it that, crashing the glass, and then we already know what not Timberwolves. We already know what Blazers do against the point guard as far as giving up assists, man. And them things is like free. So I'm gonna rock out with it, man. I already placed it, so man, ain't no backing out. But 43.5 PRA for John Morant, and then Edwards, man, 34.5 PR, man.
34.5. I don't know if people have been riding with you or not, Fred, but I know that's been cashing because Ant been on fire.
I'm telling you, man. I don't really do too much. Like, my bad for cutting you off.
No. Go ahead.
Much like analysis as far as like like the I don't know what you call SDQL or what was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just watch the games and I just kind of go off of that. And I just been watching him lately, man. He's just been rebounding at an alarming rate. And I mean, the points. I mean, that's why they got him. They got him to score the ball. So it's like I feel like Rudy Gobert's not been really living up to the hype. His rebounding, he don't look the same as far as what he did in Utah. I think he's kind of got a different role in Minnesota. So I just think, man, he's been paying, man. He's been paying real well. So I'm just going right back to him, man.
All righty. Well, I hope you cash it, Bragg. I definitely hope you do, man. Appreciate you sharing the looks. And over 34.5 points plus rebounds. And Ja, 43.5 points, rebounds plus assists for Frag, if anybody was looking into those. Best of luck, Brett.
You gonna go over your officials at the end, or because I just joined late?
Yeah. I'll go over my officials at the end. We about to wrap it up in a second. I think I only got one more request, and I'll go over my officials in a couple seconds.
Man, I appreciate you having me up. I hope everybody has a good day and cash some tickets, man.
Absolutely, that's what we're here to do, Fred, for sure. Best of luck to you as well tonight, my brother. Also, YBB, what's going on, man? Hit us with something special real quick. I know you got some kind of crazy trend that probably 0-49 against the team and 1-27 against the spread. What you got for us, YBB? Talk to us, man.
It's not that cute, man. It's 14-0 today. But all right, let's get into it. So today I actually I like the 76ers minus the 9.5. I know that the Magic have been covering these big spreads. They've been a great dog, but at some point you got to look at regression. And this is one of my teams that I noted as they're playing above their head right now. And let's go ahead and get into some trends as to why I like the 76ers today. So the Sixers, they are a perfect 14-0 ATS at home. When facing an opponent they lost as a favorite against their previous matchup with a spread either wider than or equal to their previous line. So they fit the script in that department today. So that's one thing that I like.
How long did that one go back, YBB?
This one goes all the way back to 2012, but
damn. Okay.
I got something better for you. So we got another one. We got an 87% fade spot. Road dogs coming off of a road win as a dog where they made at least 10 threes. They are 3-20 ATS when facing an opponent that's in at least their third home game. So
wow.
76ers again in that spot.
Okay.
Sign me up for the 9.5. And lastly, I'll conclude with this. So when we have two teams that are in a series that are playing back-to-back in a 2-game series, the team who won as a road dog with a line of at least 6, they're just 3-16 ATS. These teams are losing by 16.21 points per game. This goes back to 2018. So, yeah, sign me up for the Sixers. I like the Sixers today. I know the Magic have been playing above their heads, and that 9.5 looks adorable to play. But yeah, I'll be on Philly today.
Okay. Hey, YBB don't typically come on here and give out too many plays. So if he get out of play, man, he really confident in it because he give out trends and he tell you trends not bets all the time, man. But if he taking it to the window, it's probably a good bet. So appreciate you sharing that. I'm gonna probably go back YBB and see if I can figure out the parameters to try to run that SDQ out myself because they had a couple extra ones that I ain't used to, but I like it. That'll work. Appreciate you, YBB. Appreciate you, man. Real quick, I got one more. So one more real quick. Let me get Kevin Durant burner up here. And see what he on for us today. KD, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Listening pretty much every day. Appreciate you in the community. Just hopping in here to talk about my sons. I got Mikal Bridges over 4 assists. He's hit 9 in the last 10. It's like minus 120 on it, FanDuel. And then you can also take his his player performance double for Phoenix in the win and Mikal 6 assists for like 440 on FanDuel.
Okay, so Bridges, what'd you say the line was? 4.5 or 3.5?
3.5, minus 122.
Okay, so over 3.5 assists for Mr. Mikal Bridges tonight against the Atlanta Hawks, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I hope you cash it, bro. Best of luck to you tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. And then YBB said he was on Philly minus the 9.5 tonight. Okay. I think it was a good show overall, man. I think a lot of great looks were shared. I see a lot of other smart people in the chat that maybe can't come up right now, or maybe haven't had a chance to do all their work and probably just here to support and listening to some of the other looks, maybe to get some affirmation from the lines that you guys like. Real quick, so I was about to end the show, but my guy requested up. Let me get Lon Slayer up real quick, and then we're gonna get up out of here. Last guest of the day, Mr. Lon Slayer himself. Lon Slayer, what's going on, brother? Can you hear me? Lon Slayer, can you hear me, bro?
Chris, what's up with you?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good, bro. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I did had a little chance to cap the games today, so got a few plays that I'm rolling with, man. I do like Tobias Harris taking his points over to 15.5. I think Magic top 3 as far as points on the season given up to small forward.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling with that. I like Tatum's points at 31, so over 30 and a half. Brooklyn kind of same situation with small forward. Rolling with Giddey with the Thunder, going up against the Rockets. I like his points today, so I'm taking the 18 points from Giddey. Should get me there. I'm taking Jabari Smith, 7.5 rebounds. I think Thunder are number 1 to the power forward as far as rebounds. Jabari just came off a 12 rebound performance, so I know he can get 8 tonight. He's gotten 8 several times this season. Haven't been killing the rebounds as of late, but I mean, he's in a good spot tonight. And then I'm taking Bridges to get 4 rebounds. And I like Dame. I'm just going to take the PRA because if he got short of the points, that means he's going to have a few more assists, I believe, tonight. But, I mean, I think he just lighted up, taking the 44.5 PRA. Hopefully just the points help get me there.
Okay. Hey, I think that it's interesting, Lon Slayer, that nobody mentioned Dame. The Dame had actually been I think he's been the hottest player in the NBA over the last, I think that the whole month, like he's averaging more points is what I just saw. You know, he just went off for the most efficient 60-point game in NBA history the other day. I don't know if people are aware of that. It's so much stuff to talk about when I actually do the show. I can't, say everything, but Dame has been absolutely cooking. So I mean, he gonna have his work cut out today because I'm pretty sure they're gonna throw Dylan Brooks on him. Dylan Brooks gonna make it a little tough for him, but Dame's elite, man. Dude is a Hall of Famer for sure. So he can get his points for sure. He's in a really good groove, and I can see him putting the guys on his back. I also always talk about a guy like his running mate Anthony Simons does not play well on the road. So looking at Anthony Simons unders typically cash as well. The problem with that is that Memphis actually been giving up a lot of 3-pointers over the last few games. So I wouldn't play it tonight, especially in a high-paced game like this. If the Portland Trailblazers on the first leg of a back-to-back, I probably would be looking at Anthony Simons to go under his points, under his points and probably his threes as well. But I'm gonna stay off of it. We know that role players don't play as well on the road, but I'm gonna stop before I talk myself into it. I got 4 plays, man. I'm not giving out any more. Appreciate you, Lon Slayer. I hope you cashed those, bro. Real quick, Lon Slayer said he was on 44.5 PRA for Dame. Bridges 4 rebounds. For the Suns, Jabari Smith Jr. over 7.5 rebounds for the Rockets. Josh Giddey over 17.5 points for the Thunder. Tatum over 30.5 for the Celtics. And Tobias Harris, a spot that we was actually looking at the last game if Embiid didn't play, because Orlando is so bad against the small forward position, and he played against them before, over his 15.5 points in that game as well. So some good looks given out by Lon Slayer as well. I think you should definitely finish with some profit by taking those plays. Real quick for me, I talked about adding one play. Favorite player today is Jaren Jackson Jr. though. I love Jaren Jackson Jr. in this spot today. 24.5 points plus rebounds is what I played him at. Brooklyn, matter of fact, let me go to the recap section so you guys can actually see it. All right, so top play today, Jaren Jackson Jr. Over his 24.5 points plus rebounds. Love the spot for him today. Steph and Anthony Edwards combined 25 points apiece is minus 105 on DraftKings if you guys have access. On FanDuel, I think it was minus 110, minus 112, something like that. So still playable. Extremely high scoring game. I see a lot of pace in this game. Don't know if they get there on the total, but I do think Steph and Ant can, both go for 25 tonight. So lock me in for that one as well. That's play number 2. Brooklyn Nets is one that I kind of, just almost really live cap. I think that, the Celtics are laying too many points tonight, and I got them at a plus 10. I like that the spread moved to 10. I think the Celtics win, but Brooklyn keeps it closer than 10. I did take Brooklyn plus the 10. And then I talked about the last one, a little 2-leg money line parlay. I don't typically do these, but I do see some value. I think the Thunder beat the Rockets tonight, and I think the Kings, even if they don't cover the spread, which I anticipate that they may do, but I don't like the look ahead spot to the Pacers that they have in 2 games. I still think that they beat the San Antonio Spurs tonight. So parlay in the Kings plus the Thunder on the money line is a minus 107. Those are the 4 plays that I'm on today. Jaren Jackson Jr. over 24.5 points plus rebounds. Steph and Anthony Edwards combined to score 25 points apiece. and then the Brooklyn plus 10 in Boston tonight, and the Thunder and the Kings money line minus 107. 4 plays for me today. Best of luck to you guys, man. As always, none of this is financial consultation. It's all theory and logic and query and trends, eye test, SDQO, NBA.com, advanced stats, a lot of different things, man. A lot of different resources and tools. Best of luck to you guys tonight. We did just get news that Joel Embiid is in, so if you like the Magic, you can actually take them. The line will probably move just a tad bit up. If you want to take the Magic, that's totally fine. If you wanted the Sixers, you probably should have jumped in already. But that's what I got for you guys today, man. Best of luck on all your action. I will be back tomorrow with the Cash Tip with Chris show, 7 a.m. Tune in with me then to catch some of the looks, early lines for tomorrow as we try to get ahead and beat some of these lines, man. Best of luck to you guys tonight. Bet with your head, not over it. I am out.